Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quant update. We've got a green day today. Like almost all cryptos are up today. That's really nice to see. At least there is some positivity in the market right here, right? So in the last 3 videos or so, I was talking about this range that we were stuck in, right? Because you can see that we are stuck in between like massive resistance right here and then massive support right here. So yeah, I was saying that when we were sitting right around $125, that this is basically a no man's land right here, because you know, anything can happen. You really don't have a specific decision that you can take. But ever since then, we've come down to our support level right here, or close to our support level right here. So obviously the question is, I mean, was this the double bottom that is going to take us out of this range right here? I'm going to try and answer that. I'll show you my price targets in the immediate short term as well. So stick with me here until the very end of this video, because I'm going to be showing you something that is really optimistic for the quant price chart right here. But before I get into all that stuff, I just want to ask you to help me spread this video by tapping the like button, because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. People looking for this kind of information will now be able to find it much more easily, right? Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would encourage you to do so really, because I do TA on Quant and a number of altcoins actually on a regular basis, right? And without me running my mouth too much, let me actually get into the real stuff. So yeah, I was saying that there is a possibility that we could be forming a double top right here. But when we move to a shorter time frame right here, let me pick the 4-hourly time frame, and you can see that it's more than a double top really, right? So let's wait a little bit here. The chart is loading here. So yeah, I'm seeing something more like a Wyckoff accumulation structure right here, and I actually think that this is a positive, because looking at where we crashed right here, right, from I think it was $228. You remember that price target of our inverted and shoulders pattern. Again, congratulations to everyone who was there, right? So that was something like a 50%. Let's go ahead and measure it so that you can actually see what I'm trying to say right here. So from the very top there up until the bottom here, that was something like a 58%, right? This is really nice, and we want to see accumulation right here, because we don't want to see the price breaking this support level, right, with the lowest level being something like $88 or something like that. So for us to see something like a Wyckoff accumulation structure happening in this zone right here is really a best case scenario in my opinion, right? So what do I mean by Wyckoff accumulation structure? You can see that yeah, it's not yet complete obviously, but it's looking like something I've seen time and again in markets really. So you can see that this is something like your preliminary support right here, your selling climax obviously, your auto rally, and then this looks like a secondary test right here. So obviously what comes after that, right? So I'm going to be showing you examples that I've seen like time and again in the markets, and then obviously you can make your own decision, right? So let's start here with the first example. So we've got the ADA price chart, which marked the bottom really of the last bear market here. So you can see that we have the same thing right here. Let me go ahead and highlight some things. So yeah, this would be your selling climax here, sorry, your preliminary support, and this is your selling climax right here, your auto rally right here, secondary test before you try to get above this your auto rally here, and then finally you get into your spring moment right, which is the most scary moment right. If you remember, this was the exact time that the pandemic was happening. So I mean, sentiment was really down right. So you get into your spring, and the good thing about this spring is basically the lowest point right here, right? So what will be coming after that is massive, you know, pump to the upside, since this is an accumulation right here, right? So that's really good. Hopefully we have something like that. Let me quickly go back to the quant price so that you can imagine that, right? I'll show you another example. Actually, before I get there, right, what I did was I actually copied this fractal here with the Cardano price chart, and then I pasted here with the quant price chart on the 4-hourly time frame. You can see that this is the Cardano fractal that I took right here, and when you put the fractals one on top of the other, you can actually see that there is crazy similarities right here, right? I'll talk about this fractal you see right here, because it's from a different price chart altogether right here, right? Let me go ahead and put back my fractal from the Cardano price chart. So yeah, I'll talk about this one in a minute, but let's take a look at another example right here. So we can also see Tron, which many people don't like really, but I mean, it is a price that we can use. So you can see the same structure happening right here, right? You have your preliminary support right here, your selling climax, your auto rally, and then you click, you try to come back and take this high one more time, right? Let me go ahead and highlight it the way we highlighted it on ADA, right? So this is your zone right here, and then after that you get into your spring moment, right? Possibly setting another low right here, right? So we are going to get into all those things, right? Yeah, and then finally you get out of that right here, and then, you know, it's a massive bull run anyway. So this is on a log scale. It doesn't really look like it's a massive bull run, but it is actually a bull run right now. The third example that is really close to what the Quant price set is doing right here on the 4-hourly time frame is the total two, right, which is basically the market cap of all altcoins, right? Bitcoin is not included in these ones. So basically the same thing, your preliminary support right here, your selling climax, your auto rally, right? I'm sure you can now start imagining the structure here on the Quant price chart right here. Let me quickly go back one more time. So this is our Quant price chart right here, which this would be our selling climax here, right? And then this is your, so this will be our preliminary support, and this is our selling climax right here, your auto rally here. You get a rejection from there. Sometimes you get above it really, but it doesn't matter. So you get this secondary test right here, and you would be looking to get something like this right here. Let me quickly look for my brush here. So you would be looking for something like so, right? Sometimes the price that gets above this the automatic rally range right here, but let's just say that for being conservative, right, we don't get above there, right? You will be looking for something like this, right? Then you finally come down in your spring moment right here, and then finally you get to go. You've got your sign of strength going out of the range right here, and then finally you get above that massive resistance that we have right here on the price set. So this would be a very positive structure for me, in my own opinion. Why? Because this resistance that we are on, like we are below, is a resistance that is actually a major resistance. We need a strong accumulation to get above it right here, right? So I showed you the total two right here, and that was the structure that I didn't talk about, which was here on top right here, right? This was the ADA structure here. This was the ADA fractal. Let's put it aside here like this, and then let's work with the total two, and you can see that it is actually very similar to what is happening here with the Quant price chart right here, right? So yeah, this would be suggesting that we are getting right our main rally right here before we get into a spring, right? Maybe I'm becoming unpopular right here, but these are the things that I see right here. So I see the Quant price chart going to levels like something like I would say 120, 125 up until 130, really, like in this rally right here, before we finally get back to set a new low compared to this one. But it doesn't necessarily have to set a new low, right? Because actually I can show you another pattern. I think it was the Bitcoin price set. You see this break of accumulation structure from 2015. You can see the same thing happening right here. Your preliminary support right here, your selling climax, your auto rally, you have your secondary test right here. You try to get above this level here, and then finally you get your spring. So you can see that this spring right here, it didn't set a new low compared to the selling climax that was set right here, but you have the same idea, right? You have the same idea of your preliminary support, your selling climax, and all those things right here. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to, the Quant price really doesn't necessarily need to set a new low below the, I think it was $98 or 96, something like that there. So yeah, this would be another structure that we'll be looking at. Let's take a look at the most recent example that I saw in the market right here. So this is a Dogecoin, right? Doge had the same structure right here. You can see this your preliminary support right here. Let me go ahead and highlight the zones I'm talking about right here, right? So this is your preliminary support right here. You can see that you have your selling climax, you have your your automatic rally here. Let's pull this one a little bit down right here. It didn't, okay, yeah. So this is your automatic rally right here. You have your secondary test, which really would be nicer if we get closer to this selling climax, but it is what it is right here, right? And then you go ahead and try to set a higher high compared to your preliminary support right here. Finally you get into your creek, and then your spring right here, right? Finally you get above it. So this is the most recent example really, and you can also see that it didn't set a new low right here compared to the selling climax that it had set right here. So yeah, these are all possible scenarios for the Quant price chart right here, but just to be on the safe side, this is how I'm working with the price chart right here. I'm seeing that we've got our preliminary support right here, selling climax, auto rally, secondary test. We will be looking to get close or above this preliminary support right here. That would take us something like the maximum of I think the maximum price that would be something like $134 thereabout, right? And then finally we get into our spring, which I said that doesn't necessarily need to set a new low right here, with the last two examples that I showed you right here. These are the things that I see here on the price chart. Tell me what you think about the analysis. If you like the video, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends and family, and then I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.